Hey everybody, took a couple of days off. You'll forgive me. It was, Christmas. And even though I'm not a celebrator, being a Jewish guy, I just like this time of year and I took it easy with the family. Plus, I married a Christian girl, so my kids aren't Jewish. At least not technically. They think they are. And, why should I dissuade them? Because, well, really, what difference does it make? But anyway, here we are. It's that time of year. I mean, there's all kinds of shit going on, but I'm not going to comment on current events today. I'm going to comment on New Year's resolutions. Let's have a little wisdom about this time of year and New Year's resolutions. Because isn't this the time of year when we all start the stuff? Now, I know the argument against New Year's resolutions. Here's Miss Pepper, by the way, looking very fluffy today. I don't know if you can tell. I can't tell. Hell. Anyway, I can't tell if I got her on camera for you, but that's because I'm a boomer and what do I know? But anyway, the argument that I've always heard every single year against New Year's resolutions is, and this is from basically cranky boomers, basically cranky people, is, well, if you know it's the right thing to do, why wait till New Year's? Do it now. Do it. Look, that would be great in a world of ideals. But the first step in wisdom is to understand who you're dealing with, especially yourself. And the fact of the simple matter is, us human beings kind of mentally need a jumping off point. For example, this isn't a New Year's resolution. I've been actually doing this for the last couple of months, but I went on keto. Tried carnivore, couldn't do it. Gotta have a few carbohydrates, And avocado's not gonna kill anybody. And I like eating my lettuce with oil and vinegar, dark green leafy greens. Because if you don't do that, well, you'll never poop again. But that's another story for another day. Anyway, the point is, I started on a Sunday. Why didn't I start on the other days of the week? I don't know. I was too busy enjoying my carbs. I decided to last minute binge my sweet tooth. And, I said to myself, okay, Sunday's the day. So on Saturday, this is a couple months ago, I literally went over to Sprouts Market, bought a half an apple pie. They sell halves and half cherries, but I'm an apple pie guy. I bought a pint of premium vanilla ice cream and I demolished it. And then on Sunday I kicked off and I haven't cheated. And I will cheat, by the way, because that's the other thing. If you're going to have anyway, let's get into the wisdom of New Year's resolutions. That's part of the advice. So having a kicking off day like the 1st of January, don't let anybody make you feel guilty about that. That's just judgmental bullshit. You go ahead and set the day. Let's call it New Year's resolution. I'm not going to tell you what to resolve. That's up to you. I mean, God knows we all have our own cross to bear. But for no matter what it is, here are a few or a few techniques when it comes to just general life. I'm not going to get into how to lose weight and all that kind of nonsense. Let's talk big picture. Now, the first resolution I'd like you to, there's only two. The first resolution is, I want you to subscribe and listen to daily. You should resolve to do this. Subscribe, listen, and read daily the press of the opposition. It's the only way you're going to get out of your cognitive biases. So, using myself for an example, because a man who lives in glass house should not throw stones. I am a libertarian, politically speaking. Now, when I say, very few people understand what that means. It just basically means that I'm socially extremely liberal and I'm financially extremely conservative with some notable exceptions. Like, for example, abortion. And abortion, the argument, this is a classic example of where an ideologue would get nutty. I was pro-choice most of my life. I changed my mind in the last year or so. Why? Because I came to realize that while as a libertarian, I believe you have absolute domain over your own body, which is why I'm in favor of drug legalization, because I don't believe in criminalizing addiction, which is a health problem. We've turned a health problem into a criminal one unnecessarily. But that body isn't yours. Sorry, ladies. And I know, the argument against this is always that a man can't have an opinion on this. Bullshit. That's my genetics just like the woman's. Yeah, it's right. I can't bear the baby. Sorry about that, but that's not my fault. I'm the male. They're the female. They're going to have the baby. And once you've There is no reason in the 21st century to have a baby unless you want one. They're easy to prevent. The birth control pill is 99.9% effective. Don't let anyone, when people tell you I was on the pill and got pregnant, there's a 9 out of 10 chance they're full of shit. People will look you right in the eye and lie. Let's say the birth control pill doesn't agree with you. There's IUDs, there's contraceptive sponges. I think they still have them. I'm not sure. They used to be a big favorite. No one uses diaphragms anymore, but I used to date a woman for years. It worked just fine. And in the event of a total failure, there's nothing wrong with abstention. If you're really that worried about it, you have two very easy choices. You can abstain and wait till you're in a long and lasting relationship, which would be the smartest thing to do for lots of reasons. Or you could get a ligation, get a tubal ligation. But once you've made the decision, I'm not going to have a tubal, and I understand why you wouldn't. I'm not here to argue that you should. I'm just saying you've got options, lots of options. So if you choose not to take the pill, you choose not to use any other form of birth control, you choose not to and if, let's say that all birth control disagrees with you, I'm a man, I'll use a condom if asked. What's the big deal? And condoms, unless you poke a hole in them, or they're really old, there's about 100% chance they're effective. Yeah, guys, they suck, but it is what it is, baby. You gotta play with your team. You got to take one for the team, as they say. So the bottom line is, there's no reason to get pregnant. But once you do, that's not your body inside of you. Yes, it's your body, but inside of you is somebody else's body. There's no avoiding that. And that somebody else is going to be born and be a person and produce and become a part of our society and important and special, individualistic. And, killing them is still murder. And I feel that abortion has desensitized our society, or has contributed to its complete desensitization to right and wrong. Because we've made, let's be honest, if you terminate a human life, it's murder. Now, I don't want to get into whether it's a fetus or a zygote, if you don't fuck with it, it's a person. And I understand, I was always on the other side of that. Anyway, the point of the matter is I changed my mind because I didn't close my mind to everybody else's opinion. And that's the first resolution. I want you to resolve. So to go back, I digressed. I went into my abortion position, which I didn't mean to do. Pepper, come on, sweetheart. Here's what you need to do. You need to resolve that you're going to subscribe to, read and listen to the leading opposing information sources. So in my case, about the least libertarian newspaper there is by far is the New York Times. And they're the most progressive paper, at least mainstream paper in the country. And MSNBC. MSNBC might as well just rename itself MSDNC. They're a progressive mouthpiece. They're going to always do that. Now, Pepper, no, come here. Pepper. Pepper's wandering off, that little crazy girl. Not anymore. She listened to me. So the bottom line is, just because they're a mouthpiece for the other side, let's say that you're a progressive, you need to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal and read it every single day. And you need to, I used to say watch Fox News, but Fox News has become so mainstream. Watch Fox News, but also subscribe to a conservative podcast. I would suggest maybe in the realm of reasonability, maybe Timcast IRL or something similar. Listen to what the other side has to say. Dave Smith has a great libertarian. Pepper, come. Hey, Terrier. She's such a, come here, sweetheart. Come to daddy. She just has to smell everything. She's so excited. We didn't go for a walk yesterday. Now, the wind brings in so many little microparticles with those 3 million scent receptors that dogs have. They smell, every day's a new day, even though it looks the same to you. And that's what she's doing right now. She's smelling. Here, I'll put her over my shoulder. She's basically, oh, that's a guy working out. There she is. She's smelling basically every square inch of this open field. So, the stripes you're seeing, by the way, are kids' soccer league stripes on the weekends. So that's the first thing. Make yourself. Yeah, most of it you're going to sit there and yell at the screen, but you have to recognize that's cognitive bias. Your resolution should be, I'm going to lose cognitive political bias at least, and the way I'm going to do that is to force myself to listen to what the other side has to say. Pepper. And in that way, you'll hear what their position is, And if you have a critical mind, when they make a valid point, you'll at least not lie to yourself. You might lie to your friends because peer pressure is tough, and admitting to your friends that the other side might have a point is a tough thing to do. But at least privately and in the voting booth, hopefully, you'll be aware. Pepper, let's go, sweetheart. You'll be aware of somebody else's idea and not be so quick to write it off just because you've never listened to it, because you put yourself in the echo chamber of your own cognitive biases. So that's my first resolution I think you should do. And the second is, you have to make a resolution that from now on, before you have an opinion, you're going to deeply research Pepper. Deeply research Pepper. Pepper, I'm gonna go hook her up because she's just not gonna listen to me. She's too busy wandering. Pepper, my sweetheart, come here to Daddy. Hey, Terrier. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna hook up. Just give me a second, gang. All right, my sweet girl. There we go. There we go. We're hooked up. Pepper's, oh, she's so excited. She's just so happy. All right. Pepper doesn't mind being on the leash. She actually likes it, but she's just, let's say, terriers, buy a terrier, learn to plead. So when I say you're going to make a resolution to think critically, just accept, how you do that is, number one, you accept that there's a high probability that whatever you're absolutely certain about, you're wrong about. Certainty is the hobgoblin of an unimaginative mind. There's very little in this world that is black and white. Most of the world is gray. So even though you can find a part of something that is completely despicable, I'll give you a good example. The climate cult, as I call it, the people who believe we're on the brink of crisis and going to slide into an uninhabitable planet and there's no point in having children because the planet will be uninhabitable, yada, yada, yada. First of all, they're wrong. I mean, any extreme is wrong. Just like the people who say there is no climate change, mankind pays no there's no contributing factor done by mankind. It's all a big hoax. That's bullshit too. In the middle is likely the truth somewhere. Now, I'm not going to discuss what that truth might be. I have a pretty strong idea. I've talked about it before. Instead, I'm simply going to say, listen to what they have to say. Listen to what the anti-nutcases have to say. And then read everything you can lay your hands on and form a critically thought opinion without worrying about whether it was okayed by MSNBC or Fox. Yep, Pepper sees a friend. Hey there. So, Pepper, she's so cute. See, there's one of Pepper's friends right behind us. So, that's it. Those are the two resolutions. One, resolve to listen to what the other side has to, and by the way, not to throw, water balloons at the screen of your TV or whatever. I don't know where that came from, but really listen. They make a point. One of the things that I think contributes, go ahead guys. Okay. I'm at a Frisbee golf course too, and these guys, that's the other thing that's out here is Frisbee golf, and these guys can you see them? They're right there. They're firing across the fairway, so I'm gonna give them a chance. Bingo. Well, everyone's hitting the tree and not getting to the, you ever play Frisbee golf? It's really a lot of fun. There goes, great shot, almost. Spun out at the end. All right, thanks fellas. So anyway, that's it. You've got the gist. Have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Make your resolutions. Don't beat yourself. Oh, one last thing. One last point I wanted to make. Whatever your resolution is when you break it, accept that you're going to break it in advance and don't use that as an excuse to quit altogether. Okay? We all, I know for as sure as God made little green apples, sooner or later, I'm going to want to have another piece of pie. And I'm going to give into it because I've been very, very good and I deserve it. That's how I look at it. And if I cheat, a cheat is not a quit. A cheat only becomes a quit if you quit. And nobody likes a quitter. Anyway, have a beautiful day. Happy New Year. Well, before then, I'll talk to you. Tomorrow's going to be the 27th. I'll talk to you then. Have a beautiful day. Take care.